Manga-Waido.
I'm Kazuki Shimada. Growing up, I was always getting myself into trouble.
Kazuki!
I got lost countless times. My parents were always worried about me. This one time I went missing, they found me in a different city. Things kinda settled down after I started high school. I studied hard, got good grades, and got into a good college. But then, in my freshman year, my old habits started coming back. See, the thing is, I was always late to things. I'm sorry, I got lost. I left the house early, but you got lost. The directions weren't even that complicated. I know, but I'm really bad at looking at maps. Hey man, I've been meaning to tell you, but maybe you have some kind of developmental disorder? Like, you can never clean up after yourself. You're horrible with directions. Sometimes you say things that come to your mind without even thinking about it. Huh? But he did have a point, so I decided to go see a doctor. Turns out my friend was right. The doctor said I had a developmental disorder. So that's why I was so bad at reading maps and stuff. I always thought that's just the way I was, but I actually had a disability. I had no idea. So when it was time for job hunting, I took this into consideration. I couldn't read a map and I was always getting myself lost, so I needed a job that didn't require me to do those things. I managed to land a job at my first choice company. I told them about my disability right from the start, so everyone was very understanding of my condition. I felt really comfortable working there. I worked hard day in and day out. There was this really nice woman named Mao. She was really good to me right from the start. She was a year older than me. She was in charge of my training. She took great care of me. Whenever I was feeling down, she took me out for drinks to cheer me up. We became close, and about a year later, I asked her out, and she said yes. Then, 2 years later, will you marry me?
Of course. I'd love to.
I popped the question, and she said yes. I was at the top of my world. But then when I went to go see her parents, her mother was really happy to see me, but her father, he clearly had a problem with me. So, you want to marry my daughter, huh? Seriously? Yes, sir. I won't let you down, sir.
What is your problem, Dad? He's a great guy, and I love him. What's the matter?
Nothing. I just, forget it. Mao raised her voice at him. He didn't say anything after that. But he didn't talk to me once that day. We were gonna be family, so I wanted to be on good terms with him, but I didn't know why he was so upset with me. What did your dad like? Maybe I should get him a gift or something.
Oh, don't worry about that. But if you want, maybe we could all go out to dinner for his birthday or something. Every year we go out to eat at this nice restaurant.
Sounds good. A few weeks later. Happy birthday, sir! Why the hell is he here? Get out! You're not even family!
Dad, we're getting married soon. He's family. Why are you so mean to him? Stop being rude.
Okay, stop yelling at me.
Then stop being such a jerk.
Fine. Here you go, sir.
Kazuki, here.
Oh no, thanks. I can't really drink. Kazuya, here! Have a drink with me! If she's not gonna drink, he can drive us home. I wasn't drinking that night, so he tried to make me drive. But the thing is, I couldn't. I'm sorry, sir, but I can't drive. I have a license, but I can't drive. What the hell does that mean? I told him about my disability. Every time I tried to drive, I always ended up panicking. So even though I had a license, I didn't drive. We were gonna be a family soon, so I thought it would be best to tell him everything. But this backfired on me. What do you mean you get lost? You're a grown man! You can't marry my daughter! You're a man! What do you mean you can't drive? Pathetic. Wait, I know. You're just saying that because you don't want to give me a ride home. That's it, isn't it? He was starting to annoy me. Mao finally snapped. She grabbed my arm and we left the restaurant. Her dad seemed upset, but she didn't care. A few days later, I got an email from her father. He said I was unreliable. He said he did not want to become family with someone who had a disability. I didn't know what to do, so I told Mao.
That's it. I'm cutting off all ties with you. I'm going to be with Kazuki whether you like it or not.
She had a long talk with her father. Her father ended up apologizing to me. He assured me this wouldn't happen again. After that, he stopped harassing me, so I was relieved. But then, about 2 weeks later, he called me. Hey, one of my relatives is moving. I'm going to help them, but I could use another pair of hands. Can you help me? I thought this would be a great opportunity for us to get to know each other better, so I said yes. A few days later, he picked me up in his car, and we went to help his relative. We were done in a few hours. We were able to head back home before it got dark out. But then, something unexpected happened. There's some weird noise coming out to the back. I think the door is half open or something. Can you go check? Oh, okay. So I got out of the car to check the back door, but then… Whoa, hey, wait! He drove off. I chased after him, but it was no use. What the hell? But then the car came to a stop. Then… You can't read a map? That's not a disability, give me a break. Be a man, stop being a baby. He pulled his head out of the window and yelled at me. Then he drove off. Wait! But he was long gone. Oh no. My phone was still in the car. It was starting to get dark out. I knew nothing about mountains. What am I gonna do? I started walking towards the same direction as the car. But then as it got darker, I slipped and fell down a hill. I was completely lost. I found this big hollowed-out tree, so I spent the night inside. But I couldn't sleep at all. I was scared out of my mind. The next morning, I waited for the fog to clear up, and I heard the sound of a waterfall. I need water! I'll wait for someone here. Hopefully someone will find me soon. A few hours later, I was starting to feel dizzy. Then, a group of hikers walked by and found me. Are you okay? Help me, please. Stay with us! I woke up in the hospital a few hours later. Mao was looking down at me with tears in her eyes. A group of hikers drove me down the mountain and called an ambulance for me right away. When the police told her what happened, she was furious. I've never seen her like this before. I fell asleep, so I don't know what happened after that, but… The next day, my father-in-law came to see me. His face was swollen up. I later found out his wife gave him a beating after she found out what happened. He even got taken to the police station for questioning. I'm sorry. He apologized to me, but it didn't sound like he meant it. I could have been killed! You realize that? I don't think I can forgive you for this. I said I'm sorry! Just drop it already. You're such a whiny little baby.
Are you serious, Dad? You haven't learned a thing. I hate you. I'm running away from home. I never want to see you again.
What? A few days later, Mao and I were talking about our next move. Mao wanted to press charges, but if he gets convicted, it might cause trouble for the other family members. And I didn't want that for Mao. So instead of pressing charges, we made him promise to never bother us again. We put it in writing and made him sign it. We also asked him to pay us for damages. He tried to fight it at first, but when Mao threatened to tell her grandparents about this, he finally cracked and signed the papers. His parents were very wealthy. He needed their inheritance money for retirement. Mao's grandmother loved her very much, so she found out what he did to me. She'd probably disown him and cut him out of the will, so he couldn't let that happen. Anyways, a few months later, we finally got married. We moved in together and started preparing for our wedding ceremony. But then right after we moved in together, Mao got pregnant. So we decided to call off the wedding ceremony. Instead, we had a nice little get-together with families and friends after the baby was born. Needless to say, we didn't invite Mao's father. But then, people started asking questions. And when her grandmother asked her why he wasn't here, Mao told her everything.
You're out of the family. Shame on you!
He ended up getting kicked out of the family. But it didn't end there. Mao's grandmother kept her word and cut him out of the will. Needless to say, Mao's father was very upset, and he started taking out his anger on his wife. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore and decided to leave him.
I'm through with you. I want a divorce.
What? She left him. He was all by himself now. He never did anything around the house, so the house was a mess. When Mal stopped by the house to get some of her stuff, she said the entire house smelled like a garbage can.
I never want to see him again.
Mal's mother moved into an apartment near our house. She came over every now and then to help us with the baby and stuff, so that was kind of nice. I never thought things would get this out of control, but I could have been seriously injured or killed, so hopefully he learned his lesson. If he apologizes to me, I was willing to give him another chance, but not sure if that'll ever happen. Anyways, it was a rough couple of months, but glad everything worked out for me and my family.